So you're never gonna believe it. This is the second time I'm recording this video. I lost the first one, so if I seem a little grumpy in this one, that's why. But hello, fellas. Welcome back to the channel, and we're doing Pokemon Mount Rushmores again for me, but for the first time for you. Now, I got this idea from a YouTube Shorts creator. I'll put their name up on screen, and I'll put most of their videos on screen as well. Basically, here are the rules. We'll have 18 Mount Rushmores for every single one of the 18 types of Pokemon. And now originally, there was supposed to be 9 more, but with each one generation. So one for Kanto, one for Johto, etc., etc. But I didn't want to do it because it's already July, and 2, it's my video, and you can't tell me to do it otherwise. Rule number 2 is that all Pokemon for that specific type are in play. Not only pure types, but semi-types and secondary types. We don't want any discrimination here for any of our 18 types. And third rule, because it'll be brought up later, specifically in the flying one, the shiny Pokemon for these Pokemon do not count as the same species as their original forms. This goes for Megas, Gigantamaxes, and Dynamaxes as well. Well, not Dynamaxes, the Terras, or whatever, who cares. Point is, each form of that Pokemon will be separated into its own species. So, a Lowland Rattata will be different from regular Rattata instead of being conformed into one. And rule number 4, remember that this is just my opinion, and maybe try not to go so hard on me. Alright. I think that's all the intro stuff out of the way. Let's, oh, I lied. There is one more thing. Before each type, I will announce some honorable mentions for that typing, and give one or at least one sentence of reasoning for them being an honorable mention and them not being on the list. I will also mention and put an asterisk on screen when one of my things happen to be a bit of a stretch. But, hey. I think that's done now, so let's get into our first type, the normal type. Honorable mentions for our normal type, Mount Rushmore, go to Raticate for the Dead Raticate theory, Persian for being Giovanni's main man, Chansey for being the original healer, Tauros for Ash catching 30 of them, Ditto for being a funny guy, Snorlax, because, come on. You have to have Snorlax somewhere on this list. Dunsparce for being, I don't know, also a funny guy. Blissey for being absolutely insane. Miltank for being one of the hardest Gen 2 gym battles. Slacking for being one of the hardest Gen 3 battles. Spinda for having a lot of originality and creativity when it comes to its pattern designs. Bidoof for the memes. Lopunny for the memes. Regigigas would have been on this list if it weren't for its horrendous ability. Komala for being just an overall cute Pokemon. Wooloo for being just an overall cute Pokemon. Lechonk for the memes. Maushold. Its main move is called Population Bomb. Come on. The Dunsparce for being an evolution of Dunsparce and just a funny guy. Spearow for attacking Ash in the anime. Noctowl, it fit flying better. Swallow, it fit flying better. Swablu, it fit flying better. Chatot, it fit flying better. Unpheasant, it fit flying better. Obstagoon, for being badass. Pyroar, for being badass. Smoliv, for being a funny guy. Cyclizar, for being cool. Mega Drampaw, for being absolutely badass. Now, the actual normal Mount Rushmore, the 4 official Pokemon that I put on it, are number 1, Eevee. This one's very self-explanatory. It's Eevee. It's one of, if not the most recognizable normal type Pokemon. It evolves into so many cool Pokemon, despite me being kinda iffy on most of them. I do think they're all very cool. Number 2, Meowth. Meowth is also pretty self-explanatory, but I think it mostly comes from the anime. Jesse and James Meowth, or specifically Meowth from Team Rocket, is genuinely one of the best parts about the anime in the later seasons, before they got rid of it and went to the absolute tragedy that is Horizons. Bad show, by the way. Our third Pokemon is Staraptor. I think Staraptor is an amazing choice. I think Staraptor is one of the Pokemon that you choose for your Sinnoh teams. I think Staraptor is badass. I mean, you can't really say more about it. Our fourth Pokemon is Arceus, or Arceus, or Arceus. Arceus, or Arceus, or Arceus is the god of Pokemon, so it felt fitting, dear god, I hate this recording, so it felt fitting for it to be on this list. Now with that done, let's go on to our next type, the Fire type. For honorable mentions in our Fire type category, I'm going to say Charmander or Charmeleon, Vulpix, Growlithe, Arcanine, Rapidash, Magmar, Flareon, Typhlosion, Slugma, Entei, Torkoal, Tepig, Darumaka, Darmanitan, Simisear, Torracat, Scorbunny, Cinderace, Fuecoco, Conkeldurr, Charcadet, and Skeledirge, plus the inclusions of Pyroar, Bacephalon, and Armarouge. All these Pokemon could be explained with one or two words, but I'm going to use just a couple more. I think all these Pokemon, sure, maybe deserved to be on this list, but definitely not a solid spot on it. There is one more Pokemon for this honorable mention, though, that didn't fit this category, and that's Volcarona. Volcarona was originally on this mountain. The only reason it's not anymore is because I found a better choice while making the first one. And when I say the first one, I mean the first version of this video. Now, with that being said, let's go on to our actual Fire-type Pokemon. Starting with Charizard. It's Charizard. Who could have seen this coming? It's Charizard. There's no doubt in my mind Charizard deserves a spot on this list, despite overall the blaring opinion that Charizard is very overrated and very overused. Come on, it's Charizard. It's the Fire-type Pokemon. Pokemon number 2 is Ho-Oh, for, once again, just like Meowth, an anime pick. Ho-Oh is the first legendary you see, excluding Mewtwo and Mew, and dear god, is it beautiful in that one shot. I don't think there's a single bit of Ho-Oh media that can make me bored of... Oh, we don't talk about that one. That one doesn't exist. That one's not canon. We don't talk about that one. Anyways, Pokemon number 3 is Chandelure. First off, come on. Chandelure is so cool. No pun intended, but I think Chandelure is fire. Chandelure has an amazing design, it has an amazing concept, and honestly, you can't really go wrong with it. And Pokemon number 4 for fire is immediately one that you probably saw coming. It's Incineroar. Incineroar is a beast in VGC, and in fact, Incineroar, from at the time of writing this, Incineroar is the VGC Pokemon. Sure, there are better ones, but Incineroar is... If you ask someone who barely knows anything about VGC to name a competitive Pokemon, they're gonna say Incineroar, because Incineroar is the go-to option. Now, with those 4 out of the way, let's go to our next type, the Water type. Honorable mentions for Water type have to go to the entire Squirtle line, as well as Psyduck, Poliwag, Kingler, Seaking, Starmie, Staryu, Magikarp, Vaporeon, normal Gyarados, Feraligatr, Octillery, the entire Mudkip line, Feebas, Milotic, Kyogre, Manaphy, Samurott, Panpour, Froakie, Frogadier, Clawitzer, Inteleon, Quaxley, Finizen, Donzozo, Palafin, Tentacruel, Gyarados. Wait, I said that one already. God damn it, I hate this recording. Lantern, Wooper, Azumarill, Lapras, Kingler, Lotad, Lombre, Ludicolo, Sharpedo, Crawdaunt, Relicanth, Gastrodon, Caracosta, Swanna, Keldeo. Dear God, I hate this. Tapu Fini, Arctovish, Veluza, and Walking Wake. Now, there is one more Pokemon, but I did want to save it because it is personally my favorite starter Pokemon in the entire world. But when I say it's my favorite starter Pokemon, I get weird looks from every single person on Earth. But screw it, I have no shame anymore. I'm a YouTuber. We don't have that. Primarina is my favorite starter and should have been on this list, but honestly, I don't think it really deserved it. As much as I love Primarina, and as much as the old people next to me really find it weird when I say that my favorite starter is Primarina, Primarina is just awesome, guys. If you don't like Primarina, I'm gonna think you're a liar. I'm kidding, by the way. To each their own. Now, with those honorable mentions out of the way, I know I said a lot, I apologize. Let's get into our normal 4 Pokemon for water type. Coming up first is the man, the myth, the legend, or should I say the serpent, the myth, the legend. It's Shiny Gyarados. Come on, Shiny Gyarados is one of, if not one of the most spectacular and actually good and fairly rated shinies. Gyarados is great. The red matches well with the original design, and most importantly, it's a good step up over Magikarp, which I always found to be just a tad bit overrated, but not as much. I think Shiny Gyarados is honestly one of the most recognizable parts of the Gen 2 games. I never really liked the Gen 2 games, but that Shiny Gyarados really always made it worth it. Pokemon number 2 has to go to Basculegion, one of the newer water type Pokemon, and I think it's because I love Legends Arceus, like everyone else, because I'm basic and I'm a YouTuber and I sell out for morals. Basically, Basculegion is really cool. Look at this design, and the fact that it's a female-male split is something I always appreciate in Pokemon, but honestly, I think the real reason was because Basculegion is dope when you're surfing on him in Legends Arceus. Pokemon number 3 has to go to the man, the myth, the legend, Quagsire. Come on, did you really think Quagsire wouldn't be on anything on this list? Come on, Quagsire is one of the funniest of all time. One of the funniest Pokemon that I've ever seen. And the fact that Wooper didn't make it on this list, but Quagsire did, shows just how much it was pretty difficult to make this one. Yeah, with that being said, let's move on to our 4th Pokemon, because there's not much else I could say here. Pokemon number 4 is Greninja. Come on. Look, obviously Greninja is overrated to hell. I don't like his Mega, and I don't like his design. I don't like the tongue around his neck, but I have to admit that Greninja deserves to be on this water-type Mount Rushmore, and if he wasn't, that'd be a crime. But seriously, what do you see in him? What do you see in Greninja, really? There's nothing great about him, but I feel like I'd be obliged to put him on this list. I mean, he deserves his spot, so I guess he can stay. Let's move on to our next type, the grass type. Not as many honorable mentions this time around, so let's go with Tangela, Meganium, Seedot, Torterra, Shaman, Simisage, because he's one of my favorite Pokemon ever, despite no one really liking him. Rillaboom, Ogerpon, Venusaur, Vileplume, Alolan Exeggutor, and Abomasnow. There are some other ones that I almost didn't mention, like Decidueye and Flapple. I really like Flapple, guys. Scovillain's really nice. Hydrapple's really cool. I think Hisuian, Voltorb, and Electrode are great. But honestly, none of them really fit up to the expectations of what should be on this list. And by the way, when I said Ogerpon earlier, I meant the base form, not the water one or the fire one or the rock one. I think the first Pokemon for our grass type Mount Rushmore, dear God, I hate recording this. Our first Pokemon has to go to Sceptile. Sceptile is a very noticeable and very obvious pick for a grass type Rushmore. Come on, it's Sceptile. This guy beat Darkrai, or Latios, or one of those two. I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen that one. Point is, Sceptile's badass, alright? Our second Pokemon has to go to one that's actually pretty bad, but honestly is really good to some people, and I'm part of that. Breloom is up next, by the way. Breloom's really nice if you really don't think about his horrendous stats, but honestly, that's not what we use him for anyways. We use him for Spore and False Swipe in most games to catch Pokemon. Honestly, yeah, Breloom's an amazing pick if you're trying to do that. We're not going to continue the Hoenn streak though, because our third Pokemon is Roserade. I think Roserade deserves to be on the spot because of one reason and one reason only. Nepotism. Yeah, Roserade's on Cynthia's team, and I feel obliged to put it on here because of that. Yeah, that's it, really. Our fourth Pokemon has to go to Go-Goat. Because 1, I really like Go-Goat, 2, I really like Kalos, and 3, he's one of the famous Pokemon from Kalos. Yeah, notice how I really don't have much to say about the grass types, or these two last ones at least. It's because it was around this point in the making of these Rushmores where I realized, oh no, most of these are going to be really hard to come up with. Not our next one though, because our next one is the electric type. And if you know anything about Pokemon, you probably know 3 of the 4 that are going to be on here. But first, a word from our sponsors. Who's our sponsors? It's me. Yeah, I'm sponsoring myself. Basically, what I wanted to tell you in this little sponsor segment is to subscribe. And maybe like the video if you want to. I don't know. Because at 100 subscribers, I'm going to be reviewing the worst game I've ever played in my life. Chapter 4 of Poppy Playtime, Safe Haven. I think that's it, actually. Yeah, this wasn't long. Anyways, our honorable mentions for our electric type has to go to Jolteon, Raikou, Electivire, Tynamo, Xurkitree, Electros, Pawmi, Bellibolt, Yamper, Pincurchin, the Hisuian Voltorb line, Heliolisk, Heliowoptile, Togedemaru, both forms of Toxtricity, Dracozolt, Sandy Shocks, Miraidon, despite him looking like a penis, and Galvantula. But again, I lied to you, there is one more, but dude, I wanted to put him on this list. I really, really did, because I love him so much. But no one else does, and it's Zebstrika. Zebstrika is my favorite Pokemon, probably ever, but no one likes him, so he couldn't really afford a spot on this list. Yeah, it's a shame though. Our 4 Pokemon for Mount Rushmore though happen to be pretty obvious choices. Speaking of which, let's get into those. Alright, we're just going to speed through this one because all of them are very self-explanatory. Pikachu, Luxray, Rotom, Regieleki. These 4 are probably the most recognizable electric types. Luxray and Pikachu take care of the publicity, and Rotom and Regieleki. Rotom has the fact that he's in every game now, and Regieleki has the fastest speed stat of any Pokemon ever. Yeah, that's it really. Let's move on to the next type, which happens to be fighting. Hey, so editing Lucky here, I realized that it's about here where I realize that I full-on forget to do the honorable mention stuff. Yeah, I just fully don't mention it again until like near the end where I realize that I'm not doing it. So yeah, just enjoy me talking about the base Pokemon, and hey, at least this video's shorter than it would be. Alright, enjoy the fighting type. Our fighting type Rushmore consists of Lucario, for obvious reasons, Hawlucha, for slightly less obvious reasons, but about the same reasons as Lucario. I think Hawlucha is just very recognizable, plus it got a Mega in the ZA, so that has to count for something. Annihilate. Annihilate's just badass, guys, I don't know what to tell you. And apparently other people like it too, so that's why he's on the list. Urshifu, for being another one of those Pokemon that absolutely sweeps VGC. But granted, I think that's what he was made for, so who even knows? Our next type is the flying type, so strap in and tie on your parachutes, fellas. Our first Pokemon for our flying type has to go to Rayquaza, no doubt. Rayquaza is the flying type legendary, and if you disagree, you're a filthy stinking liar. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Yes, you do. Who said that? Anyways, yeah, Rayquaza is a no-brainer. Speaking of no-brainers, I'm going to say Pidgeot is up next. Pidgeot is the first regional bird, and it is probably the best regional bird. But don't tell any other regional birds I said that now. Our third Pokemon is Rowlet. Why? Come on, he's reality. He's a silly guy. He's in the anime. He like sleeps a lot or something. I don't know. He's like Goku or something. I don't know. The Sun and Moon anime is bad, is what I'm trying to tell you. So I don't even remember. Shiny Noctowl is up next, and I think this one only has to do with the Johto anime because Ash had one for a while, and I don't know. We never saw it again. Point is, plus I think Noctowl is a pretty good shiny. Our next type happens to be our Poison type, which, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not confident in at the slightest. This is probably the worst one. So yeah, like I just said, I'm not confident in this one, so we're just gonna speedrun it. Ekans, Coughing, Clodsire, and Crobat. Ekans and Coughing because of the anime, Crobat because it's just very recognizable and cool, and Clodsire for the funnies and the publicity. Yeah, this one's not great. I can say that in hindsight, but it could have been worse, I guess. Our next type is the Rock type, which I'm slightly more confident in, so I guess that makes up for something. Alright, I'm looking at the time. We have 20 minutes on the clock already, so we're just going to start speedrunning through these. Rock type has to go to Onix for, you know, being cool, and Brock's Ace. Ammonite for being Lord Helix. Lycanroc Dusk specifically because it's cool and from the anime, and Tyrantrum because, come on, it's Tyrantrum, he's badass. Our next type is the Ground type. Garchomp has to be on here. Garchomp's amazing. Garchomp is literally one of the best pseudo-legendaries. I think our next Pokemon will go to Wooper, because he missed out on water, and, you know, he's a ground type, so he's funny enough to be on here. Our third Pokemon has to do with the anime again. It's Crocodile. I think Crocodile is really cool in the anime. The shades are great, and Black and White's probably my favorite one. Our fourth Pokemon is Dugtrio, because, come on, it's Dugtrio. He's the funny mystery man. He looks like penises, though, so he was kind of a loose cannon on here. Our next type is the Bug type. Our Bug type choices are very obvious. You have Butterfree, Shuckle, Heracross, and Golisopod. These four are obviously the most recognizable bug types in my personal opinion, and honestly, I feel like that stands very well nowadays. Our next type happens to be our Ghost type, so get ready for more nepotism. What's that mean? Oh, you'll see. Starting off our Ghost Rushmore, I'm gonna say Gengar. Come on. Obviously, it's gonna be Gengar. Gengar is Gengar. I mean, I don't have to explain it to you. You know why Gengar's first. Our second choice is Nepotism. Yep, that's right. Spiritomb was on Cynthia's team, so I felt obligated to put it on here. Whoops. Our third Pokemon is Decidueye. I think Decidueye being one of the first Ghost-type starters is really cool, and plus, come on. Again, he's badass. I don't need to tell you. Our fourth Pokemon is Aegislash. That's right, it's Aegislash, not Aegislash, you weirdos. Yeah, Aegislash is very cool. The Sword and Shield technique is very fun, but I honestly don't understand why he wasn't introduced in Sword and Shield. Anyways, our next type is the Steel type. Starting our Steel type is Steelix. It has Steel in the name, guys. Did you think I wasn't gonna put it on here? Our second Pokemon is Metagross. It's Metagross. I feel like we're getting to a point in these ones where you have to realize that I don't want to explain this to you, and it's very clear why they're on here. Our next Pokemon is King Gambit, because if you remember that Lions versus Pokemon debate, people said that King Gambit would get the power from the falling, assuming that King Gambit wouldn't have died early on because he didn't have the buffs and just sweep all the Lions, and that's why he's on here. Our fourth Pokemon, though, is only on here because, I don't know, come on, it's obvious. But I will give this award first. This is the first Pokemon to be on the list more than once. And yes, I said first Pokemon because there's another one coming soon that is on it again. Lucario is our fourth Steel-type Pokemon, and the fact that he made it onto 2 is great for him. Lucario is great, like I said in the Fighting-type one, and I feel like you can't really get much better than this. Our next type is the Psychic type. Our first Pokemon is Alakazam. Do I need to explain it to you like you're 5 why Alakazam is top 4 Pokemon that are in the Psychic type? No, I don't. Just like I don't need to explain why Mewtwo is, or Wobbuffet, but I guess you could say Wobbuffet is an anime pick again, and I don't need to explain to you why Hoopa is just really, really cool, and that's why he's on here, and plus I really, really like Hoopa. Whoops. Plus he got a whole DLC to himself, man. I mean, come on, he's cool. Ice is our next type, and honestly, yeah, I'm not very confident on this one. I mean, one half of this list is just cute little guys, and the other half are menacing beasts. Let's start with the cute little guys, though. Snom and Sfeel are on here because they're just cute little guys, like I said. Our other two are Mamoswine and Baxcalibur. So, in the design portion of making these Rushmores, seeing Snom and Sfeel next to Mamoswine and Baxcalibur, specifically, was just really funny to see, and it's still really funny to look at while I'm recording it. But yeah, I do feel like this is a very good choice. I think Baxcalibur is an amazing new pseudo-legendary. I think Mamoswine is very cool and threatening. And again, Sfeel and Snom are just little guys. Our next type is the Dragon type, which is honestly, I'm probably most confident in. Our first Pokemon is Dragonite for obvious reasons. And we have our second Pokemon that's on here for a second time. And it's Garchomp. Again, I don't need to explain it to you. It's Garchomp. Our third Pokemon is Noivern. This is an anime pick, but you'd never guess that. Our fourth Pokemon is Goodra, which I guess you could argue was an anime pick, but honestly, I liked Goodra regardless, so I think Goodra would be on this list whether it was in the anime or not, or if it belonged to Ash or not. Our next type is the Dark type. Our first Pokemon for the Dark type is Absol. I think Absol's a very recognizable Dark type, plus his backstory is really, really cool. Our second Pokemon is Zoroark. Zoroark is the illusion Pokemon, and honestly, come on. I don't need to explain to you why it's so cool. I mean, N had one, and that guy's the baddest motherfucker alive. Our third Pokemon is Umbreon. Umbreon is one of the most, if not the most famous evolution. For the right reasons, you sickos. I know you like Vaporeon. And our fourth Pokemon is Mabostiff. No, not my balls stiff. Seriously, what's wrong with you? Bostiff is on here for making grown men cry. Guys, it wasn't that sad of a story. He can walk just fine now. But yeah, Mabostiff is on here because of his backstory in Scarlet and Violet. Moving on to our final typing, the Fairy typing. So our Fairy type Pokemon are honestly pretty obvious again. Our first one is Sylveon. Sylveon's probably the one I'm least confident in, despite there being one that is slightly less fairy-like. I do think Sylveon is an overrated mess of a Pokemon, though. The fairy type, the transgender colors, which isn't a problem. I love trans people. Whoa. Anyways, our second Pokemon is Azumarill. Azumarill's a beast in PvP, and come on, he's a fun guy, I'm pretty sure. Our third Pokemon is Mimikyu. This is the one I was probably less confident in putting in, but looking at our Mount Rushmore, I think Mimikyu fits in with the others less than Sylveon does. Our fourth Pokemon is Tinkaton, because, you know, this guy shoots birds out of the sky, I think. Yep, that's really it, really. Plus, Tinkaton is one of the more memorable Pokemon at Gen 9, which was an interesting generation of Pokemon to be for sure. But yeah, that's... Wait, have I been doing the honorable mentions? Oh, no, I haven't, have I? Well, this is the second time I'm recording this video, so, I'm not recording new segments for those. I don't know, maybe, like, put them in the comment section or something. I don't know. I'm not doing that, though. You can't make me. This isn't your channel. This is my channel. Why am I even still talking? So, originally I said there was only going to be 18 Mount Rushmores, but here, you can get an extra one. This is a Pokemon types. Yeah, you get a Pokemon type Mount Rushmore. I'm going to say that my favorite type being the Water type. I think the Water type has some really great Pokemon, and despite it not having my favorite Pokemon in the world, it does have Primarina, and again, Primarina is great. Our second Pokemon type will probably have to go to the Electric type, which has my favorite Pokemon of all time, Substrika. Our third Pokemon type, I'm slightly less sure, but I think I'll say Ice type for the sole purpose that I think Ice type is just a really good type, ideally. On our fourth Pokemon type, I think I'll go Electric. I said that already. I hate my life, guys. Can you tell? I think my fourth type will be Ghost. I think Ghost has some really good typings in there, really good Pokemon in there. Jesus Christ, take this microphone away from me. I think it really has some good Pokemon, and honestly, yeah, it's great. Yeah, That was probably the end of the video, though. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, again, I'd really like it if you subscribed and liked this video. It helps a lot, even though I don't really get much traction on here. Anyways, I'm gonna go sell my soul for the devil, just to get some more clicks on my next YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed, and, yeah, bye, fellas! By the way, if you want a part 2 with the Generation Pokemon, I can definitely do that if this one gets, like, 10 likes or something. Yeah, 10 likes, that'll do it. Subscribe!